All right, TGIF guys. It's been a crazy week, and it has all been because of this one stock, Vivus. This is the latest billionaire play. You know that I've been linking to my friend James's new newsletter that focuses on these kinds of billionaire plays. He's got a great set of free videos I highly encourage you to watch. But I'm so proud that I banked, but more importantly, my students banked and did better. And even if you didn't bank, at least you're learning. So thank you, Ariel, for making this nice little picture highlighting exactly what my buy alert was when I bought it at 140 a few days ago. And I have crappy internet here at this hotel in New York, and I didn't even really, you can see here, I didn't even condense the link. I just posted it because I wanted to get the news out as quick as possible. When a billionaire like Carl Icahn invests in a stock trading at $1 a share, the last one that he did this with was VLTC, and it went from 2 to 20. As I've said in several video lessons this week, this most likely, actually definitely won't go to 20 because Icahn did not just invest in it straight up. He actually made an offer, which the company has nearly a month to decide whether they're going to accept or not. So he's trying to get in, but at a discount. And, it's a very big positive, but it's not like, oh my God, he's going to take over this company and change it like he did with VLTC. But this is it. I alerted it at 140. It went to the 168, 170 area the first day, and then it came down actually to the 130s. I was contemplating dip buying it again overnight. In hindsight, I should have. Yesterday it was hanging around the 140s, 150s, but today is a Friday, and if you watch my DVDs, you know that Fridays are a big short squeeze day. And when Ariel took this picture, it was all the way at 2. So roughly a 60-cent a share gain in 2 days. Plenty of time for anybody to get in, or multiple entries. You could have bought it initially or dip bought it. What was the high today? It's fading a little bit. I just gave a warning when it was like 185, 190, and I'm like, I don't think anyone should be long now because it's going up so much. But today's high was 210, so 70 cents a share. So an exactly 50% return in 2 days. So the name of this video lesson will be how to find stocks that spike 50% in 2 days. And it wasn't, all at once, and it wasn't gradual. It took several days, and it was actually 3 days. But this is the power of billionaire plays. And Ariel, thank you again for illustrating this. I got to give props to people like Tricks3387. I love this comment. This is an abbreviated comment. He said much more. But he was in at 135, out at 180, $4,500 in profits. Thank you, Tim. Just paid for every DVD subscription I bought, and then thousands extra. And that's awesome. That's what education can do once you're prepared, once you understand the value of billionaire plays. I have a few haters, and they're like, oh, billionaire plays are meaningless. Well, they shorted, and they probably got squeezed. So you're free to do whatever you want with my picks and my lessons and my rules. That is how I leave it, open-ended. I make the DVDs and I say, hey, here's what I've learned over 15 years. You can ignore it. You can follow it. You can, learn from it. You can adapt your own strategy. Every which way people have gone. But my most successful students have taken my teachings and the patterns that I've learned to focus on and adapted them. Tim Grattani has taken 1,500. He's now at 2.8 million in 4 years. And it's not because we buy the same stocks and, follow exactly the same strategy. No, he took what I did and he said, okay, I can do better here and I can do better there. Those of you who have watched the Tim Grattani DVD with nearly 40 live trades can attest to that. But I can only show you what I see. And I see billionaire plays are the single most consistent strategy of 2015, especially when it's Carl Icahn. Now, he has several winners under his belt. Here's Eddie, made $1,000. Torstein said able to catch a cute little morning breakout. I guess he bought right around here at 170-ish and sold at nearly 2-ish. Here is Peter in at 188, out at 205. First trade of my life. Tim is the real deal. Thank you. Congrats, Peter. That's a hell of a first trade. I know it's not huge profits, but it is a start, and you're on the right path. Remember, 90 to 95% of traders lose money. So your first trade is a good trade. Congrats. Here are just some students. I have so many people in the chat room. S. Naaman in at 165, out at 180. Thanks, chat room. There was another one. Where was it? I don't know. I can't even keep track of this. Groundbead says, is the greatest person alive thanks to his teachings. I'm up 26% today. Thank you. I'm not the greatest person alive. I appreciate that, but come on. Let's get real. I'm glad that you're up 26% today, though. That is awesome. Here are a few more. Jay, this is just from the chat room. I'm trying to find people who did well. I want to give everybody props. I know you guys love encouragement. Jay Ruggiero in at 145, out at 160 on my small account, thanks to the chat. And I should mention that I didn't find this play on my own. It was posted in my chat room. I really should look back and see who posted it and give them props. But it was posted in the Tim Alerts chat room. Anybody could have seen it, but you have to understand how billionaire plays can keep going. And even at the end of the day, it was actually lower than where I bought it on the first day. I bought it at 140. It finished the day at 135. And all my haters were like, oh, it's over. The pattern is over. And now, today it's hitting 2. So you had tons of time if you understand the pattern and understand that there are multiple potential entries. Here's Big Dog in at 140, out at 152. Colin was in at 150, out at 165. Here's Bullseye Trader in at 150, out at 162. I got out at 164. I made $3,500. So some of you guys did better than me. Some, don't have a big enough account yet. But if you're making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 cents a share, you're on the right path. That is the beauty of these penny stocks. It's not as random as you think. There will be more billionaire plays. There will be more stocks trading at $1 or $2 that spike like this. It's just a question if you're prepared or not. Here is Castnet. I love this. Bought from class 5,000 shares at $1.49, out at $1.60. So he made over $500 while in school. And I'm sure he's like snickering to himself like while the teacher is teaching and he's making $500. That's kind of cool. Here is John Ruggiero, made $150. V. Ratsy in at 151, out at 165. Jay Whitney hit his goal for the day. And maybe some of these are females. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say his or her goal. $200. Aggie Man made $300. Conscious Warrior made $150 first trade. That's awesome. Here, and it's not just about Vivas. NB Kramer made $2,000 for the day, shorting AKBA and VTAE, which were 2 stocks on my watch list. And NB Kramer loves my How to Make Millions DVD and my Learn Level 2 DVD. So education can lead to profits. This is not like some bullshit college where you have to spend 30, 40, 50 grand, and then maybe after 4 years you might get a job that pays you 30, 40, or 50 grand, and then you have to be in student debt for 3, 4, 5 years. All of my DVDs, all of my newsletters can be paid for with one good trade. That is my value proposition to you. Here is Eliza in at 150, out at 174. Ratatat Spot in at 150, out at 167. TJ Cares in at 142, out at 168. Hebrew Hammer made 33 cents a share on Vivas. There's so many more. This is just what I can try and copy and paste real quick. S. Naaman made $150 in 2 minutes. This was night shift, first trade ever. Awesome job. In at 155, out at 190. That's actually a fantastic, well-timed trade. That's much better than most people. I made 24 cents a share, and this guy or girl on the first trade, is making 35 cents a share. So it doesn't matter that I have a bigger account. If you keep making 35 cents a share versus my 24 cents a share, you're going to grow your account very quickly. Here is Dr. Thornsberry in at 150, out at 190. Stratman's Blues in at 143, out at 187. 30% gain. Fantastic. Sheerfinity shorted SGMO. Thanks to Sykes, Chicago Good, Crook, and Lento. And, these are some of my moderators in my chat room. Thank you guys for all your hard work day in, day out. Samoan Tony made $135 in at 165, out at 192. Titus out at 180 made $750. Manuel, I love this comment. Even if it's $30, confidence is on the floor past few weeks, in at 147, out at 190. This is a fantastic trade. This is one of the best timed trades out of anybody. And your confidence should not be at the floor. You just have to wait for the right plays. And I know that they don't come every hour or even every day like you want, but when they do, you can see, I don't time it perfectly, but they can run for several days, so you don't have to be anywhere near perfect. This is awesome. Ike Hardy paid for Tim Alerts for the next 10 months. Tricks, I already talked about that on Twitter. $4,500 in profits. That's fantastic. CMAL was in at 147, out at 170, 184. And Ameripac in at 145, out at 172. Thanks, Sensei. I know there's so many more. I can't keep track of everybody, but I just want to give you a taste of like 20, 25, 30 people. This is not a pump and dump. It's not like my students are the only ones buying. How many shares is this thing traded today? 30 million? Yeah, 30 million shares today. So 30.48 million shares in a slightly down market. Billionaire plays are the best. Congrats to everybody on banking and learning this week. Definitely get in on my buddy James's website, which I'll link at the bottom of this video. He is dedicating specifically to billionaire and hedge fund plays. He's a hedge fund guy himself, and he has a ton of cool educational videos to help you understand these billionaire plays better and why they're better than other plays. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you in the chat room. Challenge students, I'm going to do an extra long webinar next week. I'm sorry for missing this week's, but at least you got Tim Gutani and Michael Good. And next week we got Mark Crook. You got a whole bunch of webinars. So I hope you come ready with questions. Everybody else, keep watching these videos. Watch the DVDs over the weekend. Learn these plays, okay? They're kind of like just a few plays here and there like this that have this kind of potential where you don't have to time everything perfectly. But when they hit, you really got to be able to try and profit from this. And this is where you could grow a small account. You buy freaking 1,000 shares, anywhere at 140 or 135 or even 150. And you sell it at 160, 170, 180, 192. And you're making $200, $300, $400, $500 on a $1,500 investment in a day or two. And while the major media will say, oh, penny stocks are terrible, you're making 20, 30, 40, 50% on your money in a day or two because you're not predicting news. You're not predicting earnings. The news is already out. You just have to understand that certain news has legs with penny stocks. And, this proved my point. I was out way too quickly. I tried dip buying the second time. I actually lost money because it just kept going down. Day 2, day 3, it's actually stronger than day 1. Where else does that happen? Anywhere else in finance? And the answer is nowhere. And it's because of the informational inefficiency that exists with penny stocks and the media and lower price stocks, where the media catches on to stories. They don't want to write about stories about low price stocks. They, try and avoid it at all costs because they don't want to spike a stock. They don't want to deal with penny stocks. And that kind of bias against low price stocks creates opportunity, because the reason why it's spiking yesterday and today is because the media didn't cover the news on day 1. Some media picked it up on day 2. Some more media picked it up today on day 3 after the news. And if you are paying attention, if you are, following this kind of pattern, you can buy on day 1. You can even buy on day 2 or buy, before the market close. If you want to doubt me, then go ahead and short and see how you do. There's a lot of people who have doubted me over the years, and they've gone bankrupt, and they've lost a lot of money betting against these patterns. I'm telling you patterns that have worked for me for over 15 years. This is the single hottest pattern right now, and I just want you to try and make as much as you can from it when these opportunities pop up. There will be more billionaire plays, I guarantee it, and it's just a question, will you be in my chat room? Will you be prepared when the news breaks? Will you have watched my buddy James's videos and have learned, why certain billionaires are better than other billionaires and other hedge fund plays? All you can do is prepare for the next one. I think this one might be over. Maybe it has another day or two. And I'm not saying that it's definitely going to stop. VLTC spiked for 2 weeks. I don't think that it'll happen this time, but I've already underestimated this by, 2 days. So do not underestimate billionaire plays. They can run. And congrats to everybody who has learned this and profited. Thanks. Have a great weekend.